xAI accused OpenAI of stealing its trade secrets in a new lawsuit. Spotify is doing more to address AI slop on its platform. And the EU told Apple it has no intention of repealing the Digital Markets Act. It's Friday, September 26th, and here's a quick look at tech in the news this morning from Engadget. Elon Musk's xAI is suing OpenAI, alleging that the ChatGPT maker has stolen its trade secrets. The lawsuit comes after the company recently sued a former employee, Xuechen Li, for allegedly stealing confidential information from the company before taking a job at OpenAI. In its latest lawsuit, which was reported by Sherwood, xAI says that Li's alleged actions are part of a broader and deeply troubling pattern of trade secret misappropriation, unfair competition, and intentional interference with economic relationships by OpenAI. According to xAI's lawyers, OpenAI also hired two other xAI employees who stole proprietary information from Musk's company. The lawsuit also stated that another early xAI engineer, Jimmy Frazier, was also harvesting xAI's source code and airdropping it to his personal devices to take to OpenAI, where he now works. Meanwhile, a senior finance executive brought another piece of the puzzle to OpenAI, xAI's secret sauce of rapid data center deployment, with no intention to abide by his legal obligations to xAI. OpenAI responded by issuing a statement that read in part, "This new lawsuit is the latest chapter in Mr. Musk's ongoing harassment. We have no tolerance for any breaches of confidentiality nor any interest in trade secrets from other labs." Musk, of course, has a complicated history with the ChatGPT maker, and this is not the first time his rival AI company has sued OpenAI. Last month, xAI filed lawsuits against OpenAI and Apple over Grok's placement on App Store charts. Musk alleged that ChatGPT's rank in the top spot represented an unequivocal antitrust violation. Musk has also filed numerous lawsuits against OpenAI over its relationship with Microsoft and its move to become a for-profit company. Spotify has announced a set of policy changes surrounding AI-generated music and spam on its streaming platform. The company is helping to develop an industry standard for AI disclosure in music credits alongside DDEX. It will be strengthening its approach to AI-assisted spam, such as unauthorized vocal clones, as well as uploaded music that fraudulently delivers music to another artist's profile. The new disclosures will encourage artists to share what aspect, if any, of their production was created with the assistance of artificial intelligence. Instead of a song simply being marked as "is AI" or "no AI," artists can specify whether they used AI-generated vocals, instrumentation, or post-production. The streamer will also debut a new impersonation policy, making it clearer how the platform deals with AI voice clones. The policy promises to give artists stronger protections against this sort of spam and clearer recourse should any appear. Spotify said in its announcement, "The pace of recent advances in generative AI technology has felt quick and at times unsettling, especially for creatives. At its best, AI is unlocking incredible new ways for artists to create music and for listeners to discover it. At its worst, AI can be used by bad actors and content farms to confuse or deceive listeners, push slop into the ecosystem, and interfere with authentic artists working to build their careers. These are not the only tactics that bad actors use to divert royalties and deceive listeners." Spotify shared that other types of spam, such as mass uploads, duplicates, SEO hacks, artificially short track abuse, and other forms of slop have become easier to create and deploy as AI tools substantially lower the barrier of entry to creating this type of content. To address these, the streamer is launching a new spam filter this fall that will identify uploads and tracks that engage in these types of spam, tag them on the platform, and stop recommending them to users. Spotify said that over the past 12 months, it has already removed more than 75 million spammy tracks. Spotify says that this sort of spam can dilute the royalty pool and take attention away from real artists trying to earn a living, even in part on the platform. The company says its goal is to achieve more transparency for listeners and to protect artist identity through these new policies. Now, these new policies don't address AI-generated projects like The Velvet Sundown, which remains on the platform despite all its lyrics, vocals, and imagery being entirely AI-generated. Spotify doesn't directly acknowledge the AI ban, but says, "We support artists' freedom to use AI creatively while actively combating its misuse by content farms and bad actors." The European Union has summarily rejected calls from Apple to repeal and replace its Digital Markets Act, the law that governs much about how giant tech companies must operate within the 27-nation bloc. As first reported by France 24, EU Digital Affairs spokesperson Thomas Renier responded to Apple's open letter regarding the DMA's effect on users in the EU, saying Apple has simply contested every little bit of the DMA since its entry into application. He added that the Commission has absolutely no intention of dismantling the DMA. The landmark legislation was passed in 2022 in an effort to rein in the ever-growing reach and power of big tech and to level the playing field for smaller would-be competitors. Since then, Apple has found itself in hot water in the EU over its App Store rules, cross-device interoperability, and its browser options. Earlier this year, the Commission fined Apple approximately $570 million for anti-competitive activities, which the company is appealing. This summer, the Commission opened a period of public consultation for the DMA with a deadline for submission of September 24th. Apple submitted an official response while also taking the time to publicly decry the DMA through a blog post. In that post, Apple said, "It's become clear that the DMA is leading to a worse experience for Apple users in the EU." The company says it is urging regulators to take a closer look at how the law is affecting the EU citizens who use Apple products every day, alleging that the implementation of these laws is opening users to higher risks of scams, exposure to harmful apps, and weakened security surrounding user data. The back and forth over the DMA and the hefty fines being levied against big tech companies has become part of the political discourse amid trade negotiations between the U.S. and the EU. President Donald Trump expressed his ire at American companies facing such heavy fines, and the Wall Street Journal alleged that the EU was using these fines in part as a bargaining chip in trade negotiations. Thanks for listening. There's more to these stories and more tech news at Engadget.com. This episode featured journalism from Carissa Bell and Andre Revilla and was voiced and produced from the sound studios of Spoken Layer by me, Steve White. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll be back on Monday with more tech news from Engadget.